Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. Today we got a massive new Black Ops 6 intel drop detailing the roadmap leading to launch. So this gives us new details on what to expect in the coming days and weeks as we get more reveals for multiplayer, zombies, potentially the Warzone integration. We actually get some new looks at the Black Ops 6 menus, how they've been redesigned, some extra bonus footage of some gameplay here and there. There is a lot to break down with this. So we got a whole blog here with a bunch of different categories to go through as we do dive into all the details here. If you enjoy the video, do me a favor, drop a like on it. It really does help promote the video and the channel more throughout YouTube. And if you are new to the channel, you want to guarantee every single day you are up to date with the latest news, updates, patch notes, and meta breakdowns, this is the place to be. So feel free to hit that subscribe button and turn on those post notifications. But we have this blog now live, optimizing the Call of Duty experience, a roadmap to Black Ops 6 launch. So streamlined menus, smaller downloads, greater control over what you download and focus on games. We're optimizing the way players interact with and access their COD library. Here's what's changing and how we're getting there. So as we look ahead to BO6, we've been working on ways to improve the COD experience by optimizing menu navigation. We've heard your feedback, and along with our own testing and learnings, have worked to optimize this. So moving forward, as a result of the upcoming changes, players will have a new streamlined interface, direct access to games, more control over your downloads, including Warzone content, interesting, expanded streaming technology to reduce file sizes. These changes will be rolled out in phases as a series of downloads for COD HQ, of course. After these larger initial updates, future COD downloads will decrease in size and existing files will take up less space. Love to hear that. As always, thanks for your patience. We're gifting all players with in-game consumables, which will be delivered when you first log in after the Season 5 Reloaded update. So that's kind of cool. Season 5 Reloaded's giving us some extra bonus consumables. So the road to a smoother COD experience. We obviously have the 21st, which is the Season 5 Reloaded update, reorganizing game content. The first big update, part of the Season 5 Reloaded rollout, new tech and reorganization of data to prepare for Black Ops 6 beta and launch. On the 30th, we obviously have the open beta. Mid-October, new user interface. Final prep for BO6 launch, introduction to a new user interface and remaining updates. Then obviously the BO6 launch, then Season 1 is currently redacted. So implementing these changes will require a series of updates to reorganize game files and deploy a redesigned UI. You'll love to hear it. Following these updates and optimizations, future COD download sizes will decrease. Black Ops 6 will be a smaller download than MW3 at launch. In addition to regular season releases, the calendar of updates are as follows. We just talked about all those dates, of course. So setting the stage, the first big update on the 21st was Season 5 Reloaded. Paving the way for these benefits requires a larger initial update set to release along Season 5 Reloaded, including game file reorganization, separating Warzone from the default download for annual titles. Love to hear that. Implementing new texture streaming tech. So separating Warzone from the default titles. To give players more control over what they're downloading, we are decoupling the download of Warzone from other titles. When you purchase an annual title, you'll only download the files for that. So if you buy MW3, you'll just download the files for that. If you buy BO6, you'll just download the files for that. On the free-to-play side, players can opt in to get Warzone when they're downloading a new annual title, or simply download it separately at any point. Flexibility and choice matter. We want to give players the choice to download each of those when and how they wish. Love to hear that. That should help with some issues with certain things breaking across the board. That's actually a cool update, I'd say. Expanded texture streaming tech. In part of an ongoing effort to reduce file size and download, we're expanding our usage of texture streaming. With these capabilities, we can cycle content that is less frequently used by players to a streaming cache, avoiding the need to download it directly. Going forward, more content will be included in this cache. With this change, you may see old content that briefly appears at lower quality until the cache is fully loaded. The resolution of content streamed from the cache will depend on what setting you have. To capture this change and give players more control over their content streaming experience, we are updating the current on-demand texture streaming setting to on-demand high-quality streaming and offering two options. An optimized one, content appears at high quality, or a minimal, content appears at reduced quality, lower internet bandwidth usage. So that's something to take note of with your settings after Season 5 Reloaded. So download sizes and experience. This is where you come in. The process begins with a download, a big one, but downloading now will pave the way over the next several weeks for BO6. This initial download will not permanently add to the stated file size to the storage of COD on your device. The update will reorganize game files and add new tech, as they've said. Once complete, COD's footprint will actually be smaller on your platform. PlayStation 5 players will acquire this update via 4 separate downloads. The initial download will be similar to other updates that are needed for COD booting. The next update will be triggered within the COD experience, a download when first accessing MW3 or Warzone. After the second update is completed, there will be another download when accessing MW3 and a final download for Warzone. So there's like just a million update requires restarts there essentially. The PS5 requires split downloads due to a difference in file organization. The initial download may be larger in size for players with MW2 content installed. Players on other platforms will acquire the entire update in a single download on PC and Xbox. They say, thanks for bearing with us because of all the downloads you're going to have to do. Here's 10 double XP, double base weapon XP, and then also double battle pass tokens. You love to see that. That's 10 1-hour double XP, 10 1-hour double weapon XP, and 10 battle pass tier skips. So pretty solid there after the Season 5 Reloaded update. We then get to the Black Ops 6 open beta on the 30th. Move like never before with Omni Movement. Players on COD in the Season 5 Reloaded update install, they'll automatically receive the beta as an update to their existing install. More things are probably going to leak. Newer returning players without COD installed can jump into the beta by downloading it separately. Players will be able to preload BO6 beta starting on the 28th. The fastest way to jump in is immediately after the Season 5 Reloaded update, downloading that, then the preload. After the beta is over, beta content will be automatically removed during the Season 6 update. The estimated file size requirements are as follows. Please note that we are in the process of finalizing the beta release, so there may be some changes. So players with Call of Duty and the Season 5 Reloaded update installed, the automatic update to the existing install here. So on PS5, 34, PS4, 15, Xbox Series X 35, Xbox One 17, and then BNet and Steam are 32 apiece. The Microsoft Store is 29. If you do the manual download though, it's obviously much larger file sizes there, so it's worth having everything installed is what they're saying. The new user interface, the new UI coming in mid-October. Get your hands on the improved menu and navigation experience when the new user interface arrives in mid-October. We're still putting the finishing touches on this, but this is essentially what the pre-release of this is going to look like. So we get our Call of Duty menu boot up and we get our first look at the new UI. So it's still very Hulu-like, very much so. I can actually full screen this as well. This looks like we're on Netflix or Hulu still, but it's an updated, more, you know, modern looking one where you can quickly go into Kill Confirmed or Gunfight or Face Off or quickly dive into Warzone or BO6 or Zombies, whatever the case is here. So it's kind of interesting. You click multiplayer zombies within the BO6 thing. So it is a different looking UI, but it still kind of has the same kind of vibe to it. Then we also get a look at the menu, then a little bit of some gameplay here with TDM. You got a player running through one of the maps here. So not anything all that different, if I'm being honest. Going into this blog, I was maybe expecting something a little more classic, but it's a new UI. I'm curious to know your thoughts on this down in the comments below. Obviously, it's hard to judge just off of this. When we actually get our hands on it, things can oftentimes be a lot more seamless for what it's worth. So they say initially there will be a transition period when the new landing page goes live before BO6. During this time, MW3 and Warzone will be the featured titles, and players will need to cross-launch into each of those games. This paves the way for BO6 to smoothly enter as a featured title. We then have the BO6 launch on October 25th. When BO6 launches, it'll replace MW3, making that the featured title with Warzone. Players will be instantly able to launch into BO6 and cross-launch into Warzone. Then we have the Season 1 update. At Season 1, BO6 and Warzone will remain the featured titles, but players will be able to instantly launch into both of those because of the integration update, of course. We'll follow up with associated download sizes for that later on. BO6 download sizes. As a result of these updates, BO6 will be a smaller download at launch than Call of Duty MW3. Since we are still in game development in the final process of final optimizations, it's too soon to share that size yet. Players with the previous updates installed who purchased BO6 will automatically download this as an update to their existing install yet again, so it's just worth having all this stuff installed beforehand. New or returning players without COD installed can download BO6 from their platform storefront. Starting with BO6, games will have their own individual user interfaces designed. Interesting, that's kind of cool. Players will get a partial preview of the Black Ops 6 user interface during the multiplayer beta and then COD next. We think you'll like the upcoming changes. Stick with us while we get through this first big transitional update for Season 5 Reloaded, and then reap the benefits of the new system on the way with BO6. So the frequently asked questions: why are COD titles being delivered in a single location? Our goal is to provide a place where players can come in and enjoy whatever experience they want, download what they want. I just feel like, though, at the same time, we've seen the issues COD HQ has caused with like the leaks and everything. You could always just choose what you wanted to play when all the games were separate. Like if you didn't want to play the old COD, uninstall it. If you wanted to play the other COD, install it. Like, it just seems a little strange to me. This approach allows us to address technology and content management challenges that occurred when COD games were separate, so I guess that's fair, and Warzone was tied to a single annual title with Modern Warfare. This reduces the combined file sizes of multiple titles, so basically their justification here is that it's smaller to have things installed in one place rather than separate and individual downloads, despite the fact that Warzone's becoming individual gives Warzone a permanent home where it's not tied to a single title. That is going to be the biggest takeaway, I think, out of all this. Why do new annual titles sometimes appear as DLC with all the content in the same location? COD titles are downloaded to the base Call of Duty install. Does content that I'm not playing get automatically removed? Can I just keep individual modes from a title? Older content that you're not playing does not get automatically removed outside of special situations like a beta. However, you can uninstall content that you're not going to play, like specific modes, zombies, campaign, etc. What is the size of the download for BO6? Earlier reports suggested 300 gigs. Is that true? The estimated file size displayed on the pre-order does not represent, it's not going to be 300 gigs. We've discussed that before. The sizes shown include the full installation for everything. MW2, MW3, Warzone, BO6, all the packs, all the files, all the languages. It's just way too big. No one's going to have all that. Additional intel here. Stay one step ahead following the COD blog, or you can just follow me because I break down all the COD blogs right as they happen, sometimes provide additional details, stuff like that. But this is an interesting blog for sure. Got a lot more previews than what I initially thought, but hey, we now have another look at the Black Ops 6 UI and what to expect here, and some interesting changes coming for Warzone being removed from the titles and being its own standalone thing. Hopefully that proves good for the future, but that being said, that's going to wrap things up for this video. Let me know your thoughts on all this down in the comments below while you're down there. Like ratings always really appreciated if you enjoyed the content. And if you're new here, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you can always guarantee you're up to date with everything going on in COD. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in. And until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you later. Peace out.